have no idea, but okay. Here we are. Me, you, me. So if you guys haven't been paying attention during the evenings, I'm going to start doing some readings during the day because I just have been getting overwhelmed with requests for personal readings, and I don't have the time to get to everyone with my travel schedule. So what I'm going to start doing is doing some things during the week, cards, etc., and I'll have some interesting things planned out, such as past life readings, deity readings, etc. Because currently I'm booked out to the end of September and now booking into October, and I hate making people wait that long. If you would still like to get an in-person appointment, I have to restructure those a little bit before I can put them back up on my site, but I will get them back up. So for now, I am going to do some 3 and 5 card reads today. You don't have to stick around. That's the cool thing about me doing these during the day is you don't have to stick around because I am live streaming them on YouTube. Why this keeps giving me a reminder that I need to be live, I have no idea. I love my phone. Really? Okay. You guys don't have to be here to have your reading done because, like I said, I am streaming live on YouTube so you can watch it at your convenience. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting into reads, my list I have so far. I think there are still maybe a few tickets left. If you guys would like one, the link is on my link tree. You can go to my site and grab yourself a ticket. So my very first person I have on here is Miss Kathy. And then I have, so far, here are the 6 that I have for today. I'm only going to do about 12 to 15. So I have Catherine Mazzella, Amanda Hernandez, Sarah Boggs, Gwendolyn Berg, Alicia Riley, and Tina Lauber. So Miss Kathy Mazzella is first. Interesting. All right. There we go. So, like I said, if you guys would like to grab a reading, I think there are still a few on the site. Okay. That you can go and grab. These are people that have already prepaid that I'm doing readings for right now. I'm going to do that one right there. If y'all don't know, I'm in the middle of moving, and so I have so much shit piled on my desk right now. There's always shit piled on my desk. Don't think there's not, but it's really bad right now. All right, Miss Kathy. So instead of just getting one card out of my small deck, like I got one and then one fell on the floor. I thought was one, but it's actually 3. I have a few different decks out in front of me, so I'm kind of intuitively choosing which decks you guys get. So the one that fell out right now is the Tree of Life. Then I had these 2 fall out on the floor. You have the Blade upside down and Vision Quest upside down on top of it. Then you have the Keeper of Whispers, which is curiosity and madness, but also forbidden knowledge. And then you have the Dragon's Hoard, which is protecting the future. So I know that you have a hard time with your boys arguing and stuff sometimes. And I have a feeling that this right here, the things going on have really knocked you off of your path, I don't think knocked you off is the right word, paused it. They have paused where you're going because that Tree of Life is everything about you. It's creation. It's your things that you have in moving forward. It's your vision, your them. But something with them is engulfing you to the point that you no longer feel like the one who's in charge. You no longer feel like the one who is making the battle decisions. Does that make sense? Because of that, it has set you in this paused state. And you just feel like, it's almost like you feel like you're trapped. You can't move forward. You can't make decisions. You just can't. if that makes sense. You just can't. But here's the thing about it. You know that it's a box that you've gotten put in. And it's kind of driving you a little bonkers at the moment. But here's the thing. It has to happen this way right now for a reason. You have done this massive amount of leveling up, of learning everything that you can. In doing that, it's almost like you've gone more than you realize you had. You've gone further with your own knowledge than you realize you had. So the universe needs you to kind of pause for a minute. The universe needs you to process the information there. The universe needs you to process what's going on with your family, what's going on with your boys, why the turmoil with them has gone through the roof, why things are topsy-turvy in a way from where they've always been. You need to get curious about a different aspect of your own path. And I'm not talking just spiritually. I'm talking all of it. Okay? Thank you, love. Because this last card here is the Dragon's Hoard, and it's protecting the future. This is not just talking about your family and so on. And I want you to notice that these cards are pretty similar in color. They're both blues and deep, dark, cool colors, whereas all of the cards here in between are yellows and reds. Okay? So you have this creation aspect beginning and end here with this situation. And in the middle, you have the turmoil. So what I'd recommend right now in this moment is to take a step back from the situation. Don't look at it as you looking at your kiddos, as you looking at family, work, etc. Don't look at it from your own standpoint. Look at it as if you were standing out here. If you were your spirit guide, if you were your guardian angel, whatever you want to call it, if you were someone out here watching this unfold, what would you do for you right now? How would you guide you forward? And I want you to look at it optimistically. I don't want you to look at it in a way that's like, okay, well, I should discipline this kid, or I should do this, or I don't want you to look at that. No. What I want you to look at is hardcore, bigger picture. How would you guide Kathy? Because that's exactly what has to happen right now. You need that outside force of where you need to go from here, where your guide has to be, if that makes sense. It's going to take you a little bit to figure out what this curiosity and this forbidden knowledge is that you need to find. I'm just going to let you know that right now. It's going to take you a little bit to figure it out. It's not something that's just going to, there it is. It's not going to be like that right off the bat. It's going to be an epiphany style hit you in the face, but yeah, you need to take a step back and hardcore look at the whole of the situation. And I'm sorry that this has been so hard on you. I know that a lot of people right now are going through some really hardcore things with karma, with things piling up on you, with things being too much. I understand. So make sure that you look at things as if you were your guide and how you would guide Kathy forward. That's going to help you figure out what this forbidden knowledge is, what this curiosity is, that will help you sidestep all of this pause that's going on right now. Because I have a feeling this pause is infuriating, because just looking at it, and it's not even my situation, it's infuriating to me. So for those of you guys going through crazy ass shit right now, let me say this. Saturn A is still in retrograde. Okay. This is, with everything else going on in the world right now, this is some major karma in all the ways. Okay. No matter what is piling on you in your life right now, no matter what, no matter if it is physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, no matter what it is, it's a lesson. And I know that you know that, but I think you need to be reminded of that. And here's the other thing. Stop looking at it from an all or nothing standpoint. Start looking at it as, if I change the wording of the situation, how does it change the situation? Maybe you just lost your job. Instead of sitting around going, oh my God, I lost my job. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Look at it this way. You are now a free agent to find a better job, to do what the fuck you want, to go back to school, to change careers. You are now free of that job, because I guarantee you it was not your dream job. If you're finding that you suddenly have to move, don't look at it like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I've got to move. I've got to move. Look at it like this. You're out of that shithole. You see what I'm saying? Change the way you look at the situation. Change your words and how you view it, and the universe will change around you to match that. You guys, y'all don't realize that every single one of you is a manifestation powerhouse. All you have to do is change the words that you tell the universe. So if you tell the universe, I'm never going to find the right job, the universe goes, okay, you don't want, okay. And guess what? You're never going to find the right job. You see what I'm saying? So there was your Bodhi soapbox for the day. I have Miss Amanda Hernandez next. I've been thinking about that a lot lately, and I know that if it's on my mind, it's on a whole bunch of other minds as well. Because I sat in bed last night thinking about karma, thinking about, no, that's not the right deck. Thinking about that's not the right deck. Thinking about everything that's going on in my own life, because a lot of times I tend to forget about my own shit and working on other people's shit. Still not the right deck. So I was sitting there thinking last night, I am absolutely getting my karma right now in an amazing way. And I thought, I really didn't expect to share this with you guys, but I am. Because I was talking to somebody yesterday about goals and aspirations, and even with the world in a dumpster fire, you know, how amazing life actually is. And I realized that I'm absolutely getting my karma. I am getting the things that I deserve. And I'll tell you why. Because obviously somebody needs to hear this, because I feel like I need to say it. And let me squish this down a little bit so I can see YouTube there. Hey, guys on YouTube. So I also know that I've seen a lot of people lately who are talking about coming out of a long-term relationship and the damage it's done to them. For those of you guys that don't know, and I'm sure some of you do, I was married for 15 years. And I was not married to a very kind person. And I had literally given up on life and given up on everything around me at multiple points, until I decided to change something about it. And it took me way too long. It took me 10 years and a slew of health problems, broken bones, black eyes, things like that, and permanent heart damage before I finally decided to leave. And when I decided to leave, I thought I was just going to chug along the same thing I was doing, and I was going to do it. And the universe showed me otherwise. And in choosing to walk away from that situation, I literally had to give up everything that I thought was important to me. Everything. And I went through a pretty good depressive phase, don't get me wrong. But my way of dealing with depressive phases or having too much bullshit is to throw myself into work. So that's what I did. And in doing that and helping other people, realized what I needed to be doing, and the universe put me exactly where I needed to be. And now things in my life are absolutely amazing in a way that I never expected or never thought they would be. And it made me realize last night when I was sitting there, it was because I changed my words and I changed the way I looked at the situation. And I also realized that all the work I put in that was for naught, all of the things that I did, all of the pain I suffered, everything like that to protect other people, I was getting my karma back from that. And the universe saying, here are all these amazing things for you because you have busted your ass and because you have overcome these things. If you guys look at the world differently and you look at the things that you've lost, you look at the things that have been taken from you, you look at the things that you've overcome, that you've survived, and you start changing your words, you're going to see where karma is catching up with you in a fabulous way. I'm just saying. That being said, Miss Amanda, ready? I love that. Someone said, I regret nothing. That is exactly where I'm at and where I have been for a long time, is that I do not regret anything. At first, I regretted staying for so long. I regretted this, I regretted that. And then I realized, you know what? I don't regret any of it, because without those things, without the mistakes I made, without the things that I could have done, without the things that I did, without all of the things in my life up to this point, right here, right now, without those things, I would not be who I am, doing what I'm doing, and be where I'm at right now. I would be someone and somewhere completely different. So no regrets, guys. No regrets. Period. I love when people say, if I could go back and do things differently with what I know now, I would absolutely do it. I wouldn't. I used to think that way, but I wouldn't. So obviously somebody needed that. There you go. Miss Amanda. Your card layout is a little interesting, because I don't know if you were paying attention when I was pulling the decks. I was like, okay, not the right deck, not the right deck, not the right deck. And I have them in a very weird way, but we're going to figure out why. So first off, you have the mystical shaman. And as I was shuffling, this literally flipped over in the deck and I had to go find it. So this tells me that you have a hardcore pulling toward a path, and you're not paying attention. I think that this path right here is a fantastic one. And not only is it a fantastic one, but it's a very important one. So the other part of the universe is also trying to hide it from you. And it's doing a very good job of it right now, because you're not understanding that you need to be on this path. You feel it, but you don't see the path yet. The next card is memory. And then you have lost in space, which is needing direction. And then you have stars in the sky, which is limitless possibility. And then you have the poet of Avalon, which is fame and pride, but also stagnation. So now I see why these decks decided they had to be in this order, because usually they go backwards. So as I was just saying about that card at the beginning, that mystical shaman card, you definitely need to do some looking back in how you were raised, in the things you wanted to be when you grew up, in the things you wanted to do, and what you thought was cool, what you thought was uncool. You need to go back in your memory and look at everything, okay? Because right now you're in a spot where you feel like there are 900 directions and you have no idea which one to take, where to go, how fast you should go down. Should you drive? Should you walk? Should you ride a horse? Should you fly on a dragon? You have no idea which way to go. And it's overwhelming, and you need direction. You need a neon sign going, this is the way you go right here. And then you turn left and blah, blah, blah. Love, you have an amazing amount of possibility right now. I mean, literally limitless possibility in going forward. Limitless possibility in going forward. The reason that you can't see it is because it's buried back there in your memory. And when I say buried, I mean buried. The path that you need to be on is a path that you knew you needed to be on as a kid. You knew. So I would recommend sitting down and going through memory lane, literally pulling out family pictures, going through Facebook, whatever it is, go through these pictures and just look and nerd around and go, man, when I was a kid, I used to want to be this and this and do this, and I believed this. I guarantee you, in doing this and going through these memories, that is going to hit you epiphany style, that direction. The direction you need to show you these limitless possibilities that you have right on your path is already there inside you. It's already there. It's already there. You just need to find it. It will help pull you out of this stagnation. And here's the other thing. It will help pull you out of this pride. Okay? Because a lot of times when we get to be an adult, and this is something that I fought with for a little bit as well, several years ago. When we get to be an adult, we get so caught up in the world telling us, these are the things you have to have. You have to have a job. You have to have a career. You have to have purpose. But at the same time, you have to have all of these other things. You have to have a house and a car and this and this and this and this and this. So it takes away from this first one because you can't always find that job that gives you purpose and gives you all the things you need, but yet still pays the bills. Not only that, but you have to be an adult. You have to be normal. You have to dress a certain way, and you can't be weird, and you can't do this or do that. You can't have crazy hair and tattooed hands and shave, whatever. You can't do this. Because that's the norm the Matrix has put on everybody. And I use the term Matrix loosely, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Sweet Pea, you need to realize that all of that is bullshit. In fact, all of you here need to realize all of that is bullshit. The Matrix itself is bullshit. And when you decide, you know what? This is where my talent lies. This is where my skill lies. This is what I've wanted to do since I was a little fucking kid. I was born with this in my soul that I need to do this. Everything in my life has trained me for this. And you really free yourself from that Matrix norm. Love, the freedom that you get from that is mind-blowing. And the freedom that you get in your path, once you realize that as well, opens your eyes up to the world itself, not the overlay that's put on it by whatever and whoever. So you need to go back and you need to look through those pictures, look through your childhood, look through all of the things that you wanted to be as a kid. And you're going to find that epiphany style. Oh my God, this is exactly what I need to be doing. Okay. So I hope that helps, Miss Amanda. It would also help if I would put the cards on the right deck. See, I'm even so used to doing them in the right order. Hello in New York. Miss Sarah Boggs, I know that you're over there on YouTube. Are you ready, girl? Like, I've literally thought about getting a tattoo that said no regrets on purpose. So, do the things, guys. Be who you want to be. Wear what you want to be. Do all the things. Do all the things. Okay? love seeing everybody from everywhere. New Jersey, California, Florida, Chicago, Oklahoma. Do I know how to hypnotize? I do, actually. And I used to do some hypnotism work. I no longer do. But yes. So the tattoos on my hands. Oh, I love this. Oh my gosh. So the tattoos on my hands are part of my own starseed coordinates, where I take my birth chart, I take someone's birth chart, and thank you, love. Thank you for the gift. And I plot them out. I use their delineation points, and then okay. I use repeating numbers to make the lines and so on. This is one part of it. This is actually an overlay on top of a different part of it. So I love this. Everybody is all over the place. Makes me so happy. So for those of you guys that are like, oh my gosh, you're here early, I'm going to start doing card reads during the day, just one day a week, probably maybe two, because I physically cannot get to everybody that's wanting a private in-person reading. So that's why I'm going to start doing these. So you guys don't even have to be here, because they're streamed on YouTube as well. So you guys can come back and watch them exactly when you have time. And yes, I will put the list on YouTube after I'm done, so you guys kind of know where you are. So my dogs are going to bark for just a minute, because my April is here to do some things and some stuff. You got to love having littles. And then Zeus is going to make sure everyone knows that he gets the last bark. All right, Miss Sarah, you ready? Well, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. So, you also have the mystical shaman. Yours is a little different, because next you have the watchers. Then you have the exile, which is strategy, but it's also trauma and failure. He's fine. He's going to do it. Him's a little shit. And then what's interesting is I had a card drawn, and then another one came out, but two came out. So you're technically getting 6, okay? So the first one that came out was the battle card. And then you had these two come out. You have gifts, and on top of that, you have anomaly. So let's have a little chat, Miss Sarah. Let's have a little chat. I have this really interesting feeling that you've been feeling very alienated from everything lately. From the world, from society, from people around you that have always been there. And there's no real reason for it. There's no real reason for it. You just feel this pull and this disconnect. And I think that it's been happening for a few months now. Except now it's to the point where you feel it continually. You feel it so deep that you wonder what's wrong with you. That you wonder what's wrong with you. And I probably would bet that you sat there and thought, man, I may need to go talk to somebody. Like, I feel so disconnected. Like, is this anxiety? Am I depressed? Like, I guarantee you've ran through the gamut of all of the things that could be wrong with you. But here's the thing, Miss Sarah. You're not depressed. Everybody right now has anxiety. This is not anxiety. This disconnect is actually a good thing. It goes kind of along with some of the things that I was talking about earlier. But you've been kind of pulled out of the matrix. You've been pulled out of the norm. You've been pulled from that normal colored life. Does that make sense? A lot of people, especially since last December or so, have been shifted in a really hardcore way. And as things have happened, and as the universe has shifted, and as things have gone on and on and on, this chasm between the people still in the norm and still in the matrix and the people that are getting shifted out of it has gotten so far that it's almost like it's gone from just yelling at someone across the Grand Canyon to trying to yell at someone across the ocean. You can't do it anymore. So your job right now, and your job, I guess, let me say it this way. Your job spiritually has been to watch. Because watchers are here for a reason. Watchers are here to pay attention to everything around them. I would bet also that in noticing this disconnect and noticing how deep the disconnect is, you've probably also been hyper diligent on details. Whereas instead of just like, oh, that lady has a nice shirt on, you've noticed every detail of her outfit, her body, her face, her hair. Like, you've noticed everything to the point that you're like, okay, I this is too much detail brain. Like, why am I noticing this shit? I don't need that. It's just useless information. It's not, because you're not noticing it about everyone. You're only noticing it about certain people, certain things, etc., that you can't explain. Because your soul right now, yourself, is formulating a strategy and going forward. These details and the things that you're noticing, are preparing you. Oh, why am I losing my voice? Are preparing you for a battle in a way. And I think you feel it. A lot of people feel this coming. A lot of people feel this coming. It's preparing you for this. It's also preparing you for this. Now, like I said, you have gifts and you have the anomaly on top of it. So you have to get to the anomaly before you can get to the gifts. The anomaly is going to come in this right here. In watching, in the details, in the I'm going to air quote it, anxiety. The anomaly comes there. So when you're out and about and you start hyper focusing on a car, on a person, on a place, on something, know that it is for a reason. It's part of the path that you're on right now. Because guys, once you start realizing that you've shifted like this, that you've been shifting so far from the normal matrix people over here, you start to realize and see the world for what it is. And the world is actually so much larger and smaller at the same time than you realize it is. The universe is utterly fantastic and so alive and volatile right now. And I say volatile in a good way, not in a bad way. You guys are not going to have gifts, and you're not going to have talents and abilities, or whatever you want to call them, happen in a normal way. Hence the anomaly card. Your gifts that are manifesting will manifest because of this watching, because of this paying attention and formulating your own strategy for battle later on. Okay? So, Miss Sarah, nothing is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with you. I promise. You're simply no longer in the current of the norm. And it is a little freeing, and it is a little anxiety ridden at the same time, because there's no norm safety net there anymore. You are absolutely not going crazy, sugar. She said, for those of you guys on TikTok, She said, got it. And thank you for clarifying that I am not crazy. You are not. I promise you are not crazy, because trust me, all of us that are getting pulled out of the norm feel like you're going crazy most of the time, myself included. You are absolutely not crazy, sugar. Just keep on paying attention. Keep on hyper focusing on those certain things that you're called to hyper focus on, and start putting those away and formulating your strategy. One thing I would recommend too is that when you catch yourself hyper focusing on something, write it down. This is another place where an email address comes in handy, but I'm also going to start recommending, aside from having your email address that is just for your spiritual stuff, to write things in a book physically as well. Just saying. I feel like I am starting to do that with my own things. I want you guys to as well. But start paying attention to what you're noticing. Okay, Miss Sarah? You're welcome so much, sugar. I'm glad that I could help you. I'm glad that this helped you see you are not going crazy. I am coming to New Orleans. So I just put out a video today. I will put out a video about New Orleans here pretty soon. But I just put out a video today, guys, here on TikTok about Oklahoma City. I will be at the Oklahoma City HorrorCon on the 6th and the 7th. I do not have any more tickets left prepaid. I am only going to be doing a few reads at Oklahoma City. So if you guys would like to get a reading from me in person in Oklahoma City, get there early and get on my list, because there's going to be a limited amount of them. Also, what I put out video-wise, if you guys haven't caught it yet, and you guys here on YouTube, if you haven't seen it on TikTok, is one of my absolute favorite celebrity clients. Don't tell everybody else. My favorite celebrity clients, Mr. James Jude Courtney, will be in Oklahoma City. And I know some of you guys are like, I have no idea who that is. I guarantee you do. He is the current Michael Myers. He has been Michael Myers in the past 2 or 3 movies. I can't remember. But he is the current Michael Myers. And he is a fantastically spiritual person. This will be the first time I've seen him in about 1.5 years. And I'm so fucking excited. We talk all the time. So I asked him the last time we spoke if I had you guys, I had people, my friends here on TikTok, YouTube, etc., if you guys had a question, if you had questions for him, if he would answer them. And he said, absolutely he would. So if you guys could ask Michael Myers anything, what would you ask him? There's a video on my TikTok. You guys put your comments, your questions in there. And the one that gets the most likes, I will ask him. And then I will also choose my favorite and ask him as well. And yes, I will make sure that I put a video that has him answering y'all's questions. So if you guys are in or around Oklahoma City on the 6th and the 7th, come say hi, come see me and see him, see all the other cool celebs that are going to be there. So yeah, I'm excited. You guys should be excited too. All right. Miss Gwendolyn Berg is the next one on my list. You ready, Miss Gwendolyn? I've never heard that watchers are evil, but I grew up in a very different way as well. You know what? I don't feel like that's right. Okay, it is. I said, I don't feel like that's right. And then, bam, got 2 cards right off the bat again. So, okay, it is right. Yeah, I was never taught that watchers are evil. Watchers are here for a reason, and depending on which culture, which religion, which background you look at, watchers are those that have a special relationship with deities, with something else. Miss Kathy, yes, you were my very first one. So I've already done yours. It's on YouTube, so you could go back and watch it if you would like. Watchers are those that are here for a reason. They usually have their soul has a special purpose, a special relationship with a higher power, and that's what they are recording. So yeah, there you go. All righty, Miss Gwendolyn. So I have you down for a 3 card. So that's why I thought it was funny that this one just kept on pulling 2 cards out, but I see why. So you had them come out like this. The top one is the Earth Keeper, and the bottom one is the Crow. Then you have the Dust Devil, which is moving out of stagnation. So, you line my cards all up now, share. I've gotten to where I have to do that now. It's weird. So, Miss Gwendolyn. Girl, you've been seeing too much. You've been seeing too much. And when I say that, I don't mean that in a bad way, but I think it's been overwhelming for you. Okay? When the Crow comes up in a reading, this is the gift of sight. This is receiving messages. This is you getting more from the universe than you kind of bargained for. It's you knowing the shit and the stuff. So I have a feeling you've been getting overwhelmed with everything lately, with seeing everything lately. And I kind of have a feeling you may be in the same boat with Sarah. So I'm going to say this, love, you're not crazy. Okay. All of these things that you're seeing, all of these messages that you're getting, in no way is it because your brain's broke. Okay. In no way is it because your brain's broke. It's because just like everybody else that's ascending right now, you're doing the same thing and your gifts are getting turned on at a high rate. Everybody who is ascending really quickly and everybody who is getting their gifts turned on. It's not just like this little dial that's like tick, 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 and it gives you time to adjust between each of the light settings. Oh, no. It's like, poof. You go from pitch black to, sunshine in your face on the brightest day ever kind of gifts. And it's overwhelming. And that's kind of where you're at right now. Yours is for a reason because you're getting drawn to the earth, to the things around you. I would guarantee you that here lately, more than a few times, you've said, I really hate people. I'd rather be around trees or my plants or my dogs or my cats or whatever it is. I guarantee you've said, I hate people. There's a reason for this. For too long, you've been in this like stagnation pool. Does that make sense? Not only in this, and I say pool for a reason. I don't know why, but I think you understand it. You felt like something was keeping you there. It's not that you felt like you were in quicksand. It's just like you felt like you were in this pool and you couldn't get out of it. All you could do was tread water. But now, not only are you getting pulled into the shallow end where you can touch ground, you're getting yanked out of the pool, blow dried, and thrown up on top of a mountain. Like you're so far from the pool that you almost don't know how to handle it. So this Earth Keeper aspect here is very, very important. So the more you're getting called out to be outside, to be in nature, to connect with nature, do it. Absolutely do it. You're getting called for a reason. Everybody that's feeling this call to be back in nature and garden and do the things, be outside, be around the trees, etc. It's because the earth needs it horribly right now. The universe needs it horribly right now. So love, as you're feeling pulled to do this stuff, do it. You're getting overwhelmed with these messages for a reason. And I know that it sucks, but it is because you are getting completely pulled out of that stagnation pool up to the top of the mountain. Okay. I hope that helps. Miss Gwendolyn. I'm watching April's face over there. I'm not sure what's going on.
You don't want to know.
I don't want to know. All right. I don't want to know. All right, Miss Alicia Riley, you ready? So let me refresh my list here. And I'll tell you guys, I'm only doing a small number of readings today. but I will do them once a week during the day, and I will get my lives planned out. So if you guys didn't catch a reading today, just know that I read every Tuesday evening at 8:30 p.m. Central Time right here on TikTok and YouTube for the zodiac signs. I will make sure to give you guys my live schedule tonight when we sit down and have a chit chat. Okay. All right. So Miss Alicia Riley. So I have Alicia, Tina, Andrea, Cat, Lisa, Tabitha, Destiny, Morgan, Laura, and Taran. That's my list for right now. So, all right, Miss Alicia. That's too many. Look, man, I just need like one. Thank you. And guys, if you can't stay for your reading, no worries. Like I said, I'm streaming them on YouTube for a reason. So that way you guys can go back and watch them at your convenience. And once I get done with my readings, I will go through and I will just put your first name. I won't put your last name. I will just put your first name on there. So that way you guys can find where you are on the list on YouTube. We're going to do that. So, Miss Alicia. I was freezing a while ago because I'm sitting right under the air conditioner vent. Now I'm burning up. Miss Alicia, you start off with lightning. And then the Morrigan, which is anticipation, but it's also opposition. It's standing tall in who you are. Then you have distraction. Then you have the eye of the needle, which is intentionality. And then you have a reconciliation. It's interesting. The colors in this go from blues and greens to kind of a middle of the road, green on the bottom, yellow on the top, to yellows and reds. Like it's kind of a backwards rainbow. This is an interesting situation that you're in right now, isn't it, Miss Alicia? With you, I have a feeling you've kind of had a lightning bolt hit your family, hit your home, your happy place here recently. Because of it, you're really taking stock and looking back at everything that's been going on around you. Family stuff, work stuff, friends stuff, extended family, all this. Like you've really been going back through and being super introspective on everything, over analyzing, overthinking, thinking, okay, oh my God, I should have done this. I should have done that. I should have said this. I should have said that. I shouldn't have done this. Like you've really been overthinking everything. So here's the thing. Right now, you are at a turning point. Okay. This and anticipation, this introspection, and this overthinking everything has put you, it's gotten you distracted from what has to happen going forward. It's literally got you distracted from, did you find it? Sorry, I had an herb I ordered that isn't cheap, and yes. I ordered it and we knew it was here and we had it and we were looking for it and we couldn't find it. And I ordered more and we just found it. This is why I have to have a shop. This is why I have to have a shop. I have too much shit. But I digress. Miss Alicia, all of this overthinking has got you distracted, love. It has gotten you distracted from what has to happen to push you forward from this lightning bolt. The lightning bolt wasn't to be devastating. The lightning bolt wasn't to cause you to introspect on everything. It wasn't for any of that. It was energy to rocket you forward. But when that happens, as humans, we kind of go, oh, I got to overthink this now because this is too much. We're not used to that energy. Some people are, but it's very, very few. It's a distraction to keep you from seeing the things that you need to go forward with and the things that you need to move forward with on purpose, intentionally, and very specifically. If that makes sense. You've got to make a plan and you've got to take very bold steps forward on it. Because if you continue to stay in this introspective mode, you're going to continue to stay distracted and you're not going to be able to move forward at all. Because in moving forward, that's what gets you to this reconciliation. Hey, sir, it's literally your April, and I need you to not do that. It will get you to this reconciliation of your path and where you need to go, as well as this burst of energy that came in and hit your family, if that makes sense. I know that it's hard to not overthink things. I really and truly do. I really and truly do. It's something that I still fight with as well. And so I have to force myself, make the decision and do it. Make the decision and do it. And you're going to have to do the same. And I want to point out that there are 113 people watching right now, and that's my lucky number. And so there you go. You have to make the decision and move forward. Okay, Miss Alicia? It will help you get out of this stagnation and back toward reconciling this energy and your path moving forward. So I hope that helps, sugar. My next person on here is Miss Tina Lauber. And you're just going to flip cards at me. Okay. No, these are next. Gotcha. Okay. Your cards are all whopper jawed everywhere, girl. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. It's just me. All right. So let's start with this whopper jawed stuff going on here, girl. All right, Miss Tina. These are the two that flung out at me, and they came out just like this. You have soul retrieval, and you have the gatherer underneath it. And like I said, they're kind of whopper jawed like that. So being that they're like this, it tells me that they're kind of going like that. Then this one is sideways, and this is preparations come to fruition. And it is really hard to see this card. It's a beautiful card. Let me turn it up like that. But even like looking at it with your actual face, it's hard to see it too. So don't feel bad if you can't see it. But it's the net caster. And notice it is sideways. Then you have these last two. You have commitment, and then you also have anomaly. So what this tells me right here, love. For some reason, the things that you used to gather, the things that you used to collect, the things that used to make you happy, the things that used to help you find your soul, you're feeling them start to do this. They've been getting drained for a while, and they're like this at this point. The things that used to make your soul happy no longer make your soul happy. And I have a feeling that it's really been getting to you lately, to the point that you're pausing your own journey. And I don't even think you realize how much you've been pausing your own journey. I think that you have probably felt this need to stop delving so far down the rabbit hole with things. The things that used to make you utterly happy. Falling down the rabbit hole for hours. Falling down the rabbit hole on books and videos and articles and movies and YouTube videos and things. You've just kind of been like, I don't really want to do it. I don't really want to do it. Because your soul no longer needs those things that you were gathering. You've hit the end of what you needed to learn. So that's why the things that you had planned to do, the things that you wanted to do and going forward, seem like they're falling flat. And it's not just like the universe making them fall flat. It's that you have no heart to do them anymore. So it is happening this way for a reason. It's absolutely happening this way for a reason. You've hit a plateau. And everybody goes through this. And I would not be surprised to know that you've kind of gone through just a little bit of a dark night of the soul as well. Because when this happens, you're welcome, Miss Kathy. When this happens, it kind of flings everybody into a dark night of the soul, even if it's just a mini one, because you start going, I really thought I was on the right path. Why is this? What happened? Why am I not wanting to learn? Why do I not care about any of this? That's where this comes in. You've got to make a commitment to let that go. You've got to make a commitment to let that go. You've learned all the things you needed to learn when you needed to learn them. And that's why you feel stagnant right now. So you've got to make a commitment that you've learned what you needed to learn and to let those things go. Once you do that, you're going to find the weird anomaly craziness that's going to set your soul on fire again. But the hardest part of this equation is this right here. Because when we've been walking any kind of path, spiritual, emotional, mental, physical, whatever, when we've been doing something for so long, our body gets in the habit, our mind gets in the habit. And that's what we want to do. That's our normal part of our day. And so when it no longer means what it used to mean to us, and we have to kind of let it go, we have to kind of give it up, we fight that really hardcore. We fight it. Once you make the commitment to yourself that these were the things I used to love, but I've learned what I needed to learn, and now it's time for me to move forward in a different way. Once you make that commitment, you'll find that anomaly. A lot of people, especially since about 2019, have had a major spiritual awakening and rocketed themselves forward. And now they're hitting plateaus and they don't understand. Thank you, Miss Kathy. They don't understand the plateau. So those of us that have been on our spiritual journey for a very long time, we absolutely understand the plateau. We've hit several. I know I've hit more than I can really count. Like if I went back through my life, I could probably count them. But we've gone through them. We understand. You have to make that commitment to let those things go so you can find the next part of your path. Because the next part of your path is not just, oh, okay, let me get on Witch Talk and just scroll through all the spiritual stuff. It's not that. Unfortunately, and don't get me wrong, I love me some TikTok and I love me some Witch Talk and I love everybody on it for the most part. Disclaimer. But there are very few people on here that have been practicing a very long time and that understand beyond that first plateau. They're still in this part here. They're still in this part. They're still in the bottom layer. They might be at the top of the bottom layer, but they don't understand that plateau. So you have to make that commitment to go, okay, all of this stuff is here, and now I'm going to move forward and hit that next anomaly. So, Miss Tina, I hope that helped. I know that was a little weird and a little longer than normal, but I hope that helped, love. Okay? Miss Andrea, where are you at, Miss Andrea? Good. I'm so glad, love. I'm so glad. I think my list is closed for today, guys. I'm only doing about 15, but like I said, I will have my live schedule up this evening. I'll have it updated this evening. If you guys missed the spiritual auction this weekend, artwork, resin pieces, etc., just know that I have another one coming up on the 19th of August. Gives you a little time to prepare. And know that I'll have some weird shit from New Orleans. And also, I mentioned last night, if you guys would like a goodie bag from Hex Fest in New Orleans, you can order them on my site now. You can order them all the way up to the 10th of August. They will ship out around the 17th or 18th when I get back, okay? So, just letting you guys know those are there. You guys can go and order one if you want. All right, Miss Andrea, you start off with the Sweat Lodge. Then you have the Martyr, which is honesty and shame and retribution. Words. Work the Berg turn. Then you have Mischief. Then you have Compassion. And then you have Diving Deep into a Task. So, ready, Miss Andrea? Girl, I have a feeling you've just come out of the Sweat Lodge. Yours isn't that you're going into the Sweat Lodge. Yours is you're coming out of the Sweat Lodge. You've just gone through some major shit. And when I say major shit, it's unpacking things here. It's unpacking things here. It's unpacking things here. I have a feeling that you've been in a pretty hardcore dark night of the soul for more than a little while. Somebody has opened the doors to the Sweat Lodge, and you're finally kind of peeking out a little bit. Here's going to be the main part of this, okay? Don't make yourself a martyr. Don't make yourself a martyr. In going through this dark night of the soul, and in going through all the things that you have been wrestling with in your mind, that you have been wrestling with in here, that you have been trying to come to terms with, just let them be. Let them go. You have done the hard work in the Sweat Lodge already. You have gone through the visions. You have gone through unpacking them. You have gone through organizing them and sorting them and reading every single one of them and overreading you've gone through it. You've gone through it. You've done it. Okay. Don't make yourself a martyr. by continuing to sift through it. Because at this point, you have literally sifted it all you can and gotten the big chunks out, and the rest of it is just dust. Don't make yourself a martyr. Okay? I will absolutely bring books to New Orleans and Oklahoma City, guys. I have more than a few up there of, I think, Whiskey and Cornflakes and Rolling Towards Armageddon. Here's the thing, Miss Andrea. You need to let this part be what it is and let the dust blow away, because this is something I don't get to tell people in a reading very lot. Very lot. There you go. There's some Mandyisms for you today. I don't get to tell people very lot. I'm ashamed that my Oklahoman just came out. I don't get to tell people very much. I think I'm funny, y'all. I'm just saying. I can't even fucking words now. Oh my God. Okay. This is something I don't get to say a lot, is that you went through all of that shit and all of the darkness because you're kind of a powerhouse, and it's about time for you to do the fuckery. It's about time for you to be the one to dole out some fuckery. I'm just saying what I'm saying. It's now the time for you to start learning how to hand out some karma. You have taken the karma. You have taken more than your share of the karma. You have taken more than your share of the shit. Now it's time for you to do some fuckery. Here's the thing. You are very compassionate. You are very loyal. And you are absolutely that person who is extremely compassionate for people that you care about. I have a feeling that you would probably absolutely unalive anyone that touched anybody that you loved. This compassion is what's going to drive you forward in this aspect. And this diving deep into a task lets me know you're about to enter a very scary Andrea phase that if someone were to get on the wrong side of that, fuck around and find out, I feel bad for them, because this deep diving into this aspect of things is exactly what needs to happen. It's where your soul has been headed. I wouldn't be surprised if you have been finding yourself watching interesting videos, reading things, etc., that talk about said fuckery. I'm just saying. You've reached a new high in your spiritual path that it's time for you to balance things out, because you have tried to do so much good for everybody else around you for so long that good is backing up. And it's fixing to swing violently the other way, which I have a feeling you've been feeling. And so that's why this reading is like, okay, it is time for you to do some fuckery and time for you to learn how to correctly do some fuckery. So
it's just me again.
There you go. There you go. I will tell you guys,
Shush.
everybody reaches this phase. Zeus, do you need to come sit in my lap? Is that what it is? Are you being a problem child? Come here. I feel like you're being a problem child. Stop being a problem child. Everybody hits this phase in their practice, guys, where you go from all love and light and healing to today is the day and I am the one. Everybody does. Everybody does. I can tell how far along someone is in their personal journey, in their personal practice, by where you fall on that scale. Because once you get to the fuck around and find out part, it's extremely freeing. And you realize how powerful you are when you can handle both of those in balance. And when you get to handle both of them in balance, you can do some powerful, amazing shit. Just saying. So, Andrea is just about to that fuck around and find out balance aspect of things. So, no.
No, it's just me, guys.
Oh, no, I put Zeus in my lap because he's kind of being a problem child. All right. Now I'm on Miss Cat Calderwood. Then I have Lisa, Tabitha, Destiny, Morgan, Laura, and Taran. You're welcome, love. You're welcome. And it's funny that that came up in your reading today because I was just talking to Sass about some things and some stuff in the works that I don't want to announce just yet. But just know Bodhi's putting together a new class. I'm just saying what I'm saying. No, I feel like it's this one again. Okay. There we go. All right, y'all. Miss Cat Calderwood, you ready? Hi, love. I see you over there. I would just like one. Thank you. Gotcha. Hey, Brody. Is there any way you can help April with the door and stuff, honey? All righty. Ready, Miss Cat? You start off with the sacrifice. Let me try to not shine things like that. Then you have the Lady of Masks, which is vanity, but it's also reclaiming. It's also reclaiming. That's going to come up here in just a second. Then you have self-interest. And then you have the Golden Empress, which is magnetism and personal power. And then you have repairing the veil, which is forgiveness. So, Miss Cat, you and Andrea are kind of in similar boats, but same, but different. Whereas with her, out some of this fuckery. I think Zeus with blue hair is awesome. I'm just saying. And since he's in my lap, that's what gets to happen. He's going to be lucky if he doesn't end up with cheetah print or eyebrows or both. But I digress. Ms. Cat, you have gone through a period of sacrifice. Now with Andrea's, she went through this. With you, you've literally gone through sacrifice. And not just a little sacrifice. Hello in Sweden. Not just a little sacrifice. You really feel like you have had to give up so much in the last, I would say, 2 years, that it's, when you look back, and I don't think you do a lot because it's overwhelming to look back, but at the same time, you're kind of numb to the sacrifice at this point. You're kind of numb to it. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. And I know a lot of people have gotten that way in the last few years. It's like getting desensitized to losing shit. Getting desensitized to the fact that nothing is permanent. Nothing is permanent, guys. The good and the bad. The bad and the good. Sweet Pea, it's now time for you to reclaim you. To reclaim you. Because in all of this sacrifice and in all of this loss and letting go, You have given up way too much of Cat. And I understand that too. You've given up way too much of Cat. It's now time that you do the things for you that you've been doing for everybody else. Whether this is self-care, whether this is you telling everybody to fuck off and go take a vacation by yourself, whatever it is, you need to start acting in Cat's interest, in Cat's best interest, period. And I have a feeling that that's really hard for you to do. I have a feeling that even me just telling you that probably gave you a little bit of like anxiety. But here's the thing. All of this stuff has been sacrificed and removed and stripped away and so on to put you down to that bare bones skeleton again. So you can start rebuilding and reclaiming Cat, the actual soul Cat. Because Cat is an amazingly powerful human being and extremely full, like to the point it probably exudes from you now, of personal power that I don't even think you realize how much personal power you hold, Cat. I think that you've kind of got a little taste of it when you've had to really go to bat for other people. But now it's time to do it for you. This card right here is actually one of the most important cards in this whole line. This is the forgiveness card. You need to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Because as you've let go of everything and you've put yourself on the back burner for too long, you have gotten to this point where you really feel selfish for doing things for Cat. You really feel selfish for doing things for you. You've got to get over that, sweetheart. You've got to forgive yourself for any perceived wrong that you feel like you've done. Because in all this sacrifice and in starting down this path of reclaiming Cat, you have to get over your own hesitation of feeling selfish. Because unfortunately, this is one of the things that cracks me up. Hey, sir, it's just the mail. It's just the mailman or UPS or FedEx or whoever.
Water okay?
Huh? Oh, yeah, the water can go. Leave me like one. I may have way too many waters, y'all. So, Miss Cat, you've got to forgive yourself. The whole world preaches that we need self-care. We need to take care of ourselves first. And you can't help anybody else if you're not whole and you're not the fixed. Then at the same time, we're told how selfish we are for being that way. And it's dumb. And I hate it. So, Cat, you've got to forgive yourself for that other way of thinking that I'm selfish if I take time for myself. I'm selfish if I put my best interests first. It's not being selfish. It's taking care of Cat and reclaiming Cat. And that's what has to happen, sweetheart, okay? So, and I didn't mean to make you cry. I hope that it's a good cry. I hope that it's a good cry. You have an amazing amount of power in there, girl, and you've got to own it. You've got to own it. Okay. So just so you guys know, as we get everything moved to the shop and as we're moving stuff to the shop, good. I'm glad you needed to hear it, sweetheart. I'm finding all kinds of weird shit that I didn't even realize I had. So my ingredient list, you're welcome, Kat. You're welcome, sweetheart. My ingredient list on the site will be going through the roof. Yes, when we get open to the public, you will be able to come in and get what ingredients you need. But just know my ingredient list on the site is about to go through the roof. Just saying. All right, Miss Lisa Shields, you ready? Let's see. Trying to see who else I've got here. Make sure that that's my whole list. I saw you there. All right, there we go. Gotcha. So you start off with water. Then you have the ageless, which is healing and knowledge and compassion. Then you have wrath. And then you have the fates. And you have the right use of power, which was underneath the fates. So, Miss Lisa. You've really been allowing yourself to go with the flow lately. You've been allowing yourself to heal. You've been allowing yourself to accept things the way they are. You've been allowing yourself to be gracious and letting things go and be gracious in owning things, if that makes sense. You've allowed yourself to be. And in allowing yourself to be, not only have you realized that it makes life a lot easier, but you also have realized that, what? What the fuck is
said, what the fuck is that water?
Is it labeled?
Oh no, but it's a gallon jug under your desk, so I know it's water.
I told you I have too much shit.
Sorry.
There's no telling. If it's not labeled, I can probably tell you what it is.
Is it really drinking water?
So that right there is my latest batch. Some of it's outside still, but that has set out in 4 new moons, 4 full moons, 2 meteor showers, and yeah.
What are we calling this one?
I have no idea what to call that one, but I need to label it. So if you want to leave it on the table there. I have chaos water. I have everything water. I have all this shit. Y'all have no idea. Okay. All right.
Now we got nameless water.
Got the nameless. Maybe that's what we should call it. Just the nameless. All right. Somebody said, whatever that is, I want something. So, guys, I will tell you what. I collect water from every full moon, from every new moon, like all kinds of things, right? I actually have bottles of water that have sat out, and they're still sealed. All of these have sat out in every single new moon and full moon between April 2021 and April of 2020. They've sat out in every portal. They've sat out in every meteor shower. I get serious with my shit. I don't play. So yes, all of these will be on the site very soon. Just letting you guys know. So yeah, you'll be able to order them. All right. So Miss Lisa, in letting things go and letting the water and the flow of everything take you wherever you need to go, you want to go. You've been getting angry. You've been getting angry lately. And I know that this is something that has probably disturbed you a little bit, because in getting angry, it makes you go, where's my zen? Like, where's my zen? But love, this is part of the flow. It's part of the flow. I'll tell you guys what I do with the water here in just a minute. It's part of the flow of allowing the universe and the world to take you where it needs to take you. There are going to be things that you're like, okay, I'm just going to let that go. And then there are going to be things that piss you off to the core of your being for a reason. So you're learning that anger a lot of times is righteous and placed in the right way. Okay? With that, you have to make sure that you use that power correctly, that you use that wrath and that anger and that energy that's channeled from it correctly. Because even the things that come out of your mouth is power, is manifestation. So you have to use those things correctly. This part of your path is fated to happen. It's fated to happen. That's why you have to learn to use it correctly, because you were fated to be like, okay, I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm just going to let life take me where it needs to go. To gain this healing, to gain this acceptance, and to gain this wrath and this energy. It's something that's fated to happen. So you have to make sure you use that power correctly. It's like, the Spider-Man saying, with great power comes great responsibility. That's exactly where you're at right now. Guys, when we hit the point where things are starting to balance out for us energetically, anger becomes a thing again. And you get frustrated because you're like, God damn it. Like, I went through all of this. I'm over the anger. There should be no anger. And now there's anger. It's because you have to have that balance. Anger is that energy coming up, and you have to make sure you learn how to project it where it needs to go. Where it needs to go. It can be extremely useful, guys. It can be extremely useful. All right. I have Tabitha Lovell next. Tabitha, Destiny, Morgan, Laura, and Taran. All right. We ready, Miss Tabitha? Maybe. I don't just drop shit everywhere. So, what do you do with the waters? All of the waters I collect are for different things. Every single moon phase has a different meaning to it. Not only does it have a different meaning to it, the moon itself, but depending on where it falls in the zodiac, it adds to that meaning. So they're used for all different types of workings and so on. Just depending on which moon, etc. When it comes to...
Sorry. Did you get those poured up right there?
Which ones?
These herbs that are in this.
Yes, if they're over there. The only ones I didn't get were the ones on the very bottom shelf on that first one. Okay. So I really just need to either make a list, or I can look and see here in a minute when my other jars will be in. So all of the waters are for something different. So eclipse waters are very powerful. Portal waters are extremely powerful. I do have some portal water that sat out in the 11-11, the 12-12, and the 2-22 portals. It's extremely potent. As far as those waters, like I was just talking about, those ones are still sealed. So yes, you can drink them. I have gallons of I started doing gallon jugs and bottled water. So that way I can drink them if I want to do some really hardcore shit. Yeah. So Miss Tabitha, are you ready, love? You start off with the sacrifice. Then you also have the watchers. Then you have Charon, which is transition and focus and necessity. Then you have the Queen of the Shadows. I can never pronounce her name, so I do not try to murder it. But this right here is wrath and suspicion. And then you have ghosts. So you have it's a lot. You have a very interesting cacophony of shit going on right now. You walked away from a situation. And I don't think this was recent. I think this was probably within the last year. You walked away from a situation that you had known for a while that it was detrimental to you in multiple ways. So in walking away from that situation, it was literally like you woke up one morning and went, I'm done. I'm done. You walked away. In walking away from that situation, you realized that you had to start really looking out for you and paying attention to you. You realize that, I have a feeling in a hardcore way, that you were letting people walk all over you, that you were letting yourself take on too much, that you were letting, I don't know if you were just trying to make everybody around you happy, or if you were trying to make sure that everybody liked you, whatever it is. We all do that at one point in our life or another. We all take on way too much. And that's exactly what happened. And I think you realized it in a hardcore way that, unfortunately, you can do everything for people, and the vast majority of the people will not appreciate shit, because they get so used to what you're doing for them that that's what they expect. So instead of it being something kind that you're doing because you care about them, they expect it. And when you don't do it because you have to take care of you, they get angry about it. And I think that hit you like a ton of bricks. And I think that you went through a period of intense transition in yourself where you realized that you're the one that has to count on you. And I think that you went through an intense period of hurt as well, in realizing that people were they weren't appreciating you. They were appreciating what you were doing for them. And so you shifted your focus, which kind of brings us to now. You shifted your focus from that to now. So here's the problem with now. Something recently, very recently, has pulled up the ghosts of this situation. I don't know if it's somebody else, somebody new that's around you, a new situation, or if it's just overthinking and reprocessing things. But something is pulling up the ghosts from this situation here. And in doing that, it's causing a lot of wrath and suspicion about other people, about other situations. So it's almost like comparing the things going on now to the things going on here. And I don't know why this is coming up like this, except for the fact that it seems to me just to be let me put this on your radar type thing. Like, hey, this is becoming a thing. Thank you, Miss Andrea. This is becoming a thing. Not every person acts like that person. Not every person has those intentions. Not every situation is that situation. Not every situation is going to end like that. So I think that this right here is just kind of a blip on the radar to make you pause and think, which makes me wonder if you haven't had some people around you lately that maybe they remind you of people in this situation back here. Because I know just me personally, and I'm sure everybody else here has done, you have someone in the past that's hurt you, and then someone else comes along, and even though someone else that comes along is a great person, they remind you of that person. And so you start to get suspicious and angry, and you start to be kind of weird and hateful. And then you're like, I don't know why I'm doing this, because it's not you. It's literally me. It's not you. And I have a feeling that's kind of what's starting to happen. So just know that you need to focus back on you. You need to focus back on making sure that you are going on the right path with you, if that makes sense. Now, the reason that I said I think it's just to put it on your radar is because some of the people around you are kind of like that. And so I didn't feel the need to tell you not everybody is like that. And don't take it too hard. I just wanted you to know that it's becoming a thing and to trust your gut with it. Because when you have somebody new come in front of you or a situation pop up or whatever, and your gut's like, from the get-go, your gut's like, something's sitting wrong with me. Trust your gut. Trust your gut. If it immediately spurns images from other things and you think about them and you're like, okay, logically, it's because this. If you can't logic through those things, trust your gut 100%. At the same time, though, know that not everybody in every new situation is that. Okay. I think it's just to make sure to kind of put it on your radar so you can make sure you separate the two, if that makes sense. So I hope that helps, Miss Tabitha. I hope that helps. And I'm putting cards on the wrong day. Give yourself some credit. Your gut's way more accurate than you realize it is. All right. Miss Destiny Hightower. Ready? So I have Destiny, Morgan, Laura, and Taran. You might be married to that. Sorry, that's funny shit. You're funny. Nope. What's that one? Hang on. Okay, fine.
It's just me, yo. Just a little bit sweatier.
Why don't you drink some water?
I did. I drank a bunch of growing now.
Okay. Y'all need to send all the good love and light to my April here because she's doing the bulk of moving for everything.
Because I love you guys.
So we can get all the orders packed and out and everything. And it doesn't help that the universe in Oklahoma has decided that this is like literally hotter than the pits of Hades. So, all right. Ready, Miss Destiny? I'll tell her that when she comes up, Tiffany. Okay. So, Miss Destiny, you start off with the Earth Keeper. And then you have the Sweat Lodge that came out on top of it or underneath it like that. Okay. Then you have the Prince, which is the Forgotten Adversary, which is sorrow. It's also letting go. Then you have Nature.
Just me, yo.
And then you have the Moon Maiden, which is new beginnings. Everybody said thank you very much, and they love you too.
Thank you, guys.
So here's the thing, Miss Destiny. I'm glad that you watched me at work. Here's the thing, Miss Destiny. You've absolutely been getting called back to nature and to be around the earth and the trees and the plants and the animals and stuff for a reason. For a reason. For some reason. For a reason. And for some reason. Something has made you forget about all those things you used to do as a kid. All those things that, where you felt like you could control the trees and control the clouds and make all of the potions and like play in the dirt. Like you forgot about all that. And it's starting to come back up again. But you forgot about how good it was to be outside. You forgot about how good it was to connect to the trees and the sky and the earth and just everything that's not people. With that, you're realizing that you have to stop and take a look at things. You have to stop and take a look at you. You have to stop and take a look at what needs to happen going forward, if that makes sense. And I have a feeling that in looking at everything, you kind of feel sad. You kind of feel a little lost. And that you're not quite sure what to do, which way to go, etc. So here's the thing. This card right here is actually extremely important. This is the Moon Maiden's card, and it's new beginnings. It's new beginnings. The new beginnings have been popping up all around you. They've been not just a little popping up, a lot popping up. But I don't know if maybe you're, gotcha, Miss Tabitha. I'm glad that it hit home with you, love. These new beginnings have been popping up so hardcore that I think they're overwhelming you. I think they're overwhelming you. And I don't know if you were here earlier when I talked to the person about having to let go of the norm. I think that's where you are. You're kind of here, or some people are here, whatever. Here's the norm. Here's the matrix that everybody lives in, but that start off in. And you're kind of here. You're still attached. You're still trying to let go. You're still trying to cut all of those strings. And the universe is showing you where all of these new beginnings can be had. But it's up to you to cut those strings that are still tying you here. They're still tying you here. Don't be afraid of it, love. Don't be afraid of the new beginnings. Don't be afraid of moving forward. Don't be afraid of letting go. Grieve it. Grieve that part of you. Guys, anytime you make a shift to a new aspect of yourself, to a new you, everybody goes through multiple lives in their life. You have to grieve that person. You have to grieve that phase of your life. And that's kind of where you are right now. You have to grieve that phase of your life. You have to grieve the old you. So the new fantastic you, the new beginnings, all of the new things that are trying to manifest and come in can come in and sweep you away. Yeah. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Grieve the old you, sweet pea. Grieve the old you. And I saw that you just came from an interview. I hope it went well. I do try to watch comments a little bit. I hope it went very well. And I hope that it is a fabulous job that just lands in your lap. All right, Ms. Morgan Henning, you ready? You'll have to pop in and let us know if you got the job or if you got a better job. Aw, I'm so glad to hear that, Free. Miss Destiny, you will absolutely find the exact perfect job that you need right now. So yes, I would love to know if you get that job or if you get a better one. So I have Miss Morgan, Laura, and then Taran. If I can keep the cards in my hands, that would be great. All right. All right, Miss Morgan. You have the Sorcerer. And then you have Anubis, which is perseverance, preparation. It's also preserving. I hate my words. It's also preserving. But then you have this one. This is the risk card. That's the risk card. There's a lot of powerful things here, Miss Morgan. I don't know what's going on. When the Sorcerer card pops up, that's somebody that's fully owning their own power. They're fully owning every bit of their personal magic, of their path, their current path, where they need to go, where they've been. It's fully owning every bit of that personal, amazing power you have and utilizing it. The Anubis card talks about trying to preserve everything, trying to hold on to things, trying to see the truth, trying to see the overview too hard sometimes. Because I have a feeling this risk card represents something that you've been feeling the pull to do. You've been feeling the pull to change, to do something different. But it's just a little risky. It's almost like it's just a little too much and you're not quite sure if you want to do it or not. Something is causing you to try to preserve these, like something in your gut, not your gut, something inside you is like, no, hold on to these things, hold on to these things. But the thing is, you don't need to hold on to those things. The risk card came up for a reason. It's time to let go of these things you've been preserving and move forward with this risk. Whatever it is, with these abilities and these gifts and your personal magic being through the roof and on point, are going to start coming up. They're going to start coming up more and more and more. And with them coming up more and more, you're going to find that they're going to work in your favor more and more and more. So, risk, love. Take the risk. The stuff that you've been preserving is only holding you back. It's only holding you back. Take the risk, Miss Morgan. Your personal power, putting it into that risk is going to make it a fantastic thing for you. I'm glad to know that I came up on your For You page, love. All right, Miss Laura Andrews, you about ready? Good. I'm so glad that made sense, love. Hey, gal, how are you? All right. Let's see how many cards I'm pulling from Miss Laura here. Well, all right. Can't make this shit up. Okay. Hi, love. Yeah. I'm gonna make sure to do that just the way it flopped. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Okay. You ready, Miss Laura? You ready, Miss Laura? Here we go. You have the Sacrifice. You also have Anubis, which is preservation, perseverance, finding the truth, obligation, Then you have fear. Then you have the lay of the land, which is ancestral wisdom. And then again, you can't make this shit up. You have new beginnings, and it flopped out just like this. So, thank you, love. Miss Laura. You actually have something going on right now that you know you need to sacrifice. You know you have to let go of it. For some reason, you're holding on to it like this. Like if you let it go, it's going to break you. You're literally holding on to it like that. Out of fear that if you let go of it, you're not going to have what you had. If you let go of it, you're not going to be the same person you were. If you let go of it, whatever. But you know that it has to be let go of. That ancestral wisdom there. I think that you've even been looking at a lot of this aspect of this situation and thinking, man, what would maybe I should talk to my mom. What would my mom tell me to do? Or what my grandma tell me to do? Or my grandpa, or, whatever. They've been popping up like that for a reason. Ancestors have been popping up for a reason lately. They're trying to help you through this. They're trying to help you through that fear. And I have a feeling that you're almost there, because this right here is the new beginnings card. And see how like this, that tells me it's going like that. You're almost there. You're almost to the part of, thank you, Miss List, not something that holds you in a situation that you know you have to let go of. I hope that helps, sweet pea. That helps. All right. Miss Taran. Ready? Sweet pea, if you have to ask if card readings are witchcraft, then it tells me that you have no idea what witchcraft actually is. All right, Miss Taran. I feel like these go next. I appreciate you waiting so long, Miss Taran. How are you? Let me refresh, make sure I don't have one more after you, but I think that's it. I love the little gold heart there. Guys, I can't wait to move so my desk is no longer right under the vent. Because after a while, I'm like, I can't do it. Guys, I will start doing card reads once a week during the day like this. And I will have my live schedule planned out this afternoon. You guys don't have to be here to get a reading, because I do stream that live on YouTube. So you guys can always go back and watch them at your convenience. Okay. So Miss Taran, here we go. You start off with the hummingbird. And I know the hummingbird is a sign for some people. Then you have community. Then you have, which is responsibility and wisdom. It's also quality. Then you have the sky bridge, which is the possibility for a union. And then you have the vanishing mirror, which is the ego being loosened, being let go. So